Wait a minute, I think it's starting on this one. Let's go to the chat. Wait a minute, I think we are live now. Hello. If anyone can see this? Oh, we're behind just staring at the computer. I think we are live. The thing's been saying we've been live the entire time, but we couldn't get. I experimented trying to make a pre-planned event, and apparently I can't do that. But it can. So let's go onto the channel now and try and find the proper video. Here we go. It says June live Q&A. The June Q&A works. We're just going to have to keep being in June until YouTube starts behaving itself. So we should probably change that. Here we go. It's September now, isn't it? We missed 2. Technically. This is the August. This is the August Q&A. We don't need a Kickstarter link. It's very static. Wonder if that's these. Is it any better now? I wonder if it's the laptop. I hope it's not the laptop. So there's loads to cut out of this. Is the noise any better? No? I wonder if it could have been this wire being loose. Or maybe I was moving around and moving it on my shirt. It's fixed. Awesome. Okay, let's have a Q&A for September. That sounds right now. We're on there. That's okay. That's all set up. I think. Has the old event cleared itself off now? Okay, I don't know how to get rid of this old event, but I have put in the chat. Hopefully people can see in the chat that it's in here now. Hi everyone. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Happy September. Let's have a Q&A. Rach, what would you like to ask?
Nothing.
You don't want to ask anything? No. This is what you've been invited onto the Q&A
no,
for?
It's not.
It is. Rach is going to ask all the questions and you're going to answer them. So, board games, Rach. What's going on?
William wanted to know why you're so good at doing board game playthroughs.
It's just, I finally found my talent. It's playing against an invisible person on a camera. What has been our favourite 2-player Euro this year? Can you think, Rach? I can't really think. No. There is going to be something, though, glaringly obvious. I stopped. I used to use a program to log all of my plays, like people do. And then I got out of the habit of doing it. And I'm still not really back in the habit of doing it. I'm trying to make myself, because it makes it so much easier when these questions come up. And, like, at the end of the year when I do my top 10, I can just go through the app and see, oh, these are all the games we played this year. But I am scrolling through, looking at games that we played. Let's see, Escape Plan, Rach. Would that be one of the top ones?
Possible.
I think it would be. I don't think it would be Space Base. See, if I do this, I'm just going to be slagging off a load of games as I scroll through them going, oh, not that one, not that one, not that one. But, nothing really jumps out yet, does it? But I'm sure there's been a few things that I've been raving and raving about that I can't think of now. It's going to be something that releases at Essen, though, isn't it? Yeah, that can be the overarching topic of this, even though I haven't done my proper research yet. Is what's everyone excited for at Essen? Rach, 2 Stefan Feld games coming out at Essen. What do you think?
Good. Exciting.
I'm going to have a little visit from Marty for a second, looking really frustrated that he's being picked up. I'm sure you'll be seeing his tail crossing backwards and forwards throughout this. I couldn't see if he was on it then. We'll see in 30 seconds on this video. There we go. You saw him briefly. So, our favourite 2-player Euro. I can't think of anything 2-player specific, but there's been some really good things so far. Mainly prototypes, hasn't it been? Yeah. the Tricarian expansion was amazing. The Escape Plan, right, she's not a fan of Tricarian. Escape Plan was amazing, but anything Vital Lacerda will be. And Posthuman Saga was really good.
Yeah,
a lot of
probably
good things.
Escape Plan.
Escape Plan?
Yeah, probably.
Rachel's saying Escape Plan. I'll go with that, even though technically it's a game from next year. Hi from West Coast Vancouver. Hello. We're in Canada, Rach. Broadcasting worldwide. Hi from Kansas. Hello. Have you played the Legendary Brass yet? We've played the old
Brass.
Eagle Griffin version.
Brass.
We haven't played the beautiful Roxley version. It's probably been 18 months or so since we played it. We only played it once, I think. I don't remember you enjoying it very much. But I don't think you're really a fan of Martin Wallace games. We haven't played that many.
Not.
I can't think of what we've played a few. London, not really a fan of London, are you? I really like that. Railways of the World. I think that's probably the one you mind the least. You enjoy parts of that, but yeah, I really enjoy that. Rach's big thing is I can't remember if it was that way in Brass, but any game where you should go into debt, like Railways of the World, you pretty much need to go into debt straight away to participate in the auction. Marty's found a fly, so he's probably going to be knocking things off and meowing in the background while he chases it. He's never going to get it. But yeah, Railways of the World starts off with two things you really don't like, doesn't it? Having to take a loan, never likes doing that in a game, and having an auction for first player. So it made a really bad first impression. But the actual train part, that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything coming out at Essen you're looking for. Loads of things. I think I've got about, well, here's a quick plug for, I'm sure everyone knows about it, the Tabletop Together tool is a fantastic way of keeping track of all these things. Board Game Geek's got their official preview tool up now that they've had for, I think they put it up last year. And that does a similar thing, but I still like the way the Tabletop Together tool works. And I work with Peter doing that. Well, I don't work with it, but I make the UK Games Expo list, and he incorporates it into that. So let's see, there are 617 games so far, Rach. There's 100 have come up since I last went through games that I was interested in. I've got about maybe 50. Some of those are games that I've already done maybe Kickstarter videos for that I'm probably going to mention in the preview video. Some of them will be just things that I know I want that I don't really need to look into anymore, like Feast for Odin expansion. That's just on there. New Stefan Feld games, just on there no matter what. And then I've got about 100 games that just I need to look at. I don't really know much about them, but you know, I couldn't just immediately discount them for, like, looking down the list. If it says take that, ignore. If it says 3-player minimum, ignore. And that's the way I can try and weed things out straight away. But there's going to be a demo of Black Angel. That's been delayed, hasn't it? I don't really know anything about the game, but that's from all three designers of Trois. So Rach, completely unmoved by that pedigree, but I'm really excited by that. Carpe Diem, the new Stefan Feld from Alia, where all of probably your favourite Stefan Felds came from. Could be amazing. I mentioned the Feast for Odin expansion. Escape Tales, The Awakening. We played part of the first chapter of that, didn't we, at the UK Games Expo? That was really good. Fields of Green expansion, Rach? You liked Fields of Green. You'd probably rather it was in Among the Stars. Even more Among the Stars.
Yeah.
Forum Trajanum. Rach? Stefan Feld going back to a Trajan theme. I don't think the game isn't going to be. I think the theme is similar, but the game itself, I don't think he's going for a Trajan sequel. That is, depending on which day you ask, that's Rachel's favourite game. Gloomhaven expansion. Holding On, I mentioned at the UK Games Expo. Yeah. Keyflow, card game, kind of similar to Keyflower, but I remember we didn't get on with Keyflower very well. You didn't like the auction in it, but you really like Keeper, didn't you?
Yeah.
So we're on board with the key things. Kitchen Rush expansion. It's going to be amazing. Probably. Newton, new game from Cranio Creations, designer of Lorenzo Il Magnifico, is in there. Ray Colt, new Rosenberg game. Farming. It's got things that are kind of like At the Gates of Loyang. I'm just telling Rachel these things to be excited about. Teo. I haven't got my little pronunciation guide. I keep going on a website to tell me how to pronounce it before I've filmed a video this week, and every time I had to say the name of the game, I thought, well, just pause and go back to this pronunciation website. Teotihuacan, I think. Teotihuacan. I can't remember. As close as it is. I'm excited about it. Anyway, we've got it, but I'm still excited about it. I'm vicariously excited for everybody to play it. Hi, Dan. How's it going? Tom, I've been looking for some good games recently, but seem to have been in a drought for a few months. What would you... it's jumping. What would you recommend that's available now? Medium heavy. What's come out recently, Rach? Well, there's Teotihuacan is coming soon. Most of the things that we're really excited about, it's going to be in 8 weeks' time when Essen happens and they all just flood out. We recently finished The Rise of Queensdale. It's medium Euro. It's a legacy game. I don't know if you're interested in that. A competitive legacy game. I need to film my final impressions of it now that we've finished the full campaign. But I can't think of anything that jumps, and that's really bad because I'm sure Crisis we played recently. I really enjoyed Crisis. We got on with that quite well, didn't we?
Yeah, it was good.
But it's mainly Kickstarter prototypes of recent games, me catching up on older games, and things that we're looking forward to for Essen. Marty is real. Yes, he is real. He exists because I bought Rach that Glass Marty exists anyway, because I bought him for Rachel for a Christmas present from Jennifer Ham, who does Gamer Glass, or glass pieces and things. One of the options on her website is a custom glass piece of your cat or your dog, and she had a load of pictures of Marty and came up with the glass
Marty
version of him.
Mine.
Technically,
I ever get to see him.
He's his own person now. He's evolved way back on that. Anything you guys backed on Kickstarter, I haven't backed very much, even though there are things that I'm really excited about. Some of them it's just I haven't really got the money at the moment, or I think hopefully I'll be able to pick them up nearer to the time, like Escape Plan. Amazingly excited about that, but we'll hopefully be able to buy it closer to the time. The things I've backed recently have been Pocket Dragon, that I did a video for. Quick real-time game from David Tortzi. I'm trying to get the pronunciation of that stuck in my brain as well. And Boomerang, which was a roll and write game and a card drafting game stuck together. And yeah, that was enough for me. I backed those. But yeah, most of you can kind of, I say my first impressions of what the games I do on Kickstarter are anyway. But usually, if I've done a video for a Kickstarter, it's usually because I really liked it anyway. And in an ideal world, I would be backing it. Not always, but, I'll tell you in the video. Underwater Cities from me at Essen. Yes, that's going to be really good as well. Vladimir Suhi. Rach? Last Will designer? Shipyard designer?
Last name now?
Yeah, that's...
Not Suchi.
That's Paul Grogan. His tips for how to pronounce that. He taught me through how... the reasoning for it that I can't quite remember, but yeah, it's sticking in my head. I hope we were pleased. His tips are rubbing off on me. Hello from South Africa. We really are going all around the world now.
Around the world.
We've got one corner is Canada. We've got South Africa there. We need someone from this side of the map now. Dan, Caverna expansion, Forgotten Folk or something like that. Yeah, that does look cool. Like we've only played Caverna once, haven't we? We played it the very first time we went to a game group for our local game store that isn't there anymore. But yeah, we played. So I think you were. I was hoping that you might play it, and Rach hates Agricola. I was thinking maybe with all of these things, and goes a little bit easier on you for feeding your family and things. I think you liked it more, didn't you? I can't really remember all this time back. I really liked the adventuring with the workers. That you could be leveling them up and stuff. I suppose you've got that great big display of all the buildings that are available.
After I've read 10 buildings, I've forgotten what the first building was.
Yeah, and I just miss all of the cards. I love that. I love being overwhelmed with 14 cards at the start of a game of Agricola and trying to organise them into, okay, this is my plan for this. Slickerdrips says tabletop together. Hello. Harry, so Rising Sun is not your cup of tea then, eh? No. We don't play anything where we fight against each other, and we've noticed it kind of leaking into just area control in general or area majority. Just less and less interested in it, just because it's in a two-player game anyway. It's not as interesting because what am I going to do in this area? Who am I going to take out? Well, I'm going to push the other player out. There's no decision to be made there. There is, still stuff going on in the game, but don't really like it. While it's not take that or anything like that, I don't really like gaining something by making the other person lose something. I would rather that we were multiplayer solitaire. It's ideal for me because you both get on with it and see how good a job you can do, and then at the end you see how well each other did, and you can get in each other way through worker placement or something like that. But yeah, any kind of fighting, and not particularly interested in miniatures. Can be wowed by really nice ones, but I wouldn't get a game just because it had nice miniatures or anything. Rising Sun does have really nice ones, but I don't think nothing stood out to me. I think the only thing I know about it is from No Pun Included review. I think that's the only thing I've seen about it, and it's not really excited me. We may be doing something to do with Blood Rage though, which is a surprise because I never thought I'd play Blood Rage. But that could be coming up. Dan, you're not convincing. I never do. I've hopefully learned more not to bring some games that Rach will hate.
Still got too many games.
Yeah. Most of them, though, we both like. Any deck building games you played recently? Just got Helionox Deluxe. Have you played Helionox since it featured on your show? No. We've got a normal version of the base game of Helionox because that's what the prototype came with, and then all of the expansion stuff was prototype materials. I don't think we've played it since. That's usually, sadly, probably 80% of the playthroughs or the last time that I've played the game, which is unfortunate, but it's the way it is, really. What new deck builders have we played?
Thunderstone.
Oh yeah, we played Thunderstone Quest at Manacon. Paul Grogan taught us that, and really excited about that. It's an enormous, expensive box, but it is jam-packed with stuff at the same time. Yeah, thought that was a really, really good version. We've only played original Thunderstone, and we played it cooperative a lot. I know that they've brought out a PDF, or they put rules on the new Kickstarter for co-op. I'd really like to try that as well, but that was a really good deck builder, wasn't it?
Mm.
I feel like we played something recently.
I played Renegade.
Renegade. Yeah, it's kind of you do change the cards in your deck, but your deck starts off at 15 cards and ends in 15 cards. That was a really, really cool game. That's coming up actually pretty soon. That's Ricky Royal's game. Everyone likes Ricky Royal, don't they? He designed a game. It's really cool. Any other deck building games? We played Dragonfire again recently. And did absolutely terribly. I think we tried the same level 3 times. We should probably, at this point, just start again because it's been so long since.
About 100 characters, if not more.
Yeah, so many characters come with all of. We went to Oxford, didn't we? On our way back from seeing Taskmaster, we decided to go to Oxford for the day, and we popped into Thirsty Meeples, and ended up buying a couple of Dragonfire little blister packs. And even they come with more characters. It's jam-packed with them now. So many. But yeah, we could find some new characters to play and maybe start again. Because the story isn't fresh in our minds. It's more than a year ago, Dragonfire now. But we played it in dribs and drabs, haven't we? But it's probably been at least 6 months since we played a normal version of it. But I still think Dragonfire is fantastic, even if it completely destroys us every time we try to win at it. Adam says, favourite game design company / publisher? Rach, do any spring to mind at all? Companies. No. Rach is not too bothered about
not a favourite.
Companies or anything.
Dunno.
Cephalofair.
Yeah, but how many games of theirs have we actually played?
3.
Have we?
Well, there's Forge War.
Oh yeah, Forge War.
Gloomhaven. Founders of Gloomhaven.
Although they won't be doing Forge War anymore.
Pardon? Oh, because they're only going to make Gloomhaven themed games, yeah. I would love, though, to see, I'm sure it's been mentioned a million times, I would love to see Forge War again. It wouldn't need much of a retheme, but just put into a Gloomhaven world.
Possibly.
And your little icons are Quattrels and Craghearts and stuff. But it's a fantastic game as it is. So would it be Cephalofair then, Rach? Would it be...
What are the other options?
There are loads. Queen Games. You got Queen's Architect that you love. Amerigo. I suppose that's not very many.
No.
Maybe it would be something like Z-Man. Or Tipia, maybe.
Yeah,
You
I
love
do
Among
like
the
a lot of
Stars,
activity
Kitchen
games,
Rush.
yeah.
Could be
No,
Bezier games,
I
maybe.
don't love Kitchen Rush.
Oh yeah, I love Kitchen Rush. Bezier games, maybe. Suburbia, Castles of Mad King
Oh,
Ludwig,
yeah.
Favour of the Pharaoh,
They're good
Subdivision.
games. Pretty good games.
Could be Bezier. Between Two
I always
Castles of
forget
Mad King
about
Ludwig.
those games when I think about my favourite games.
Yeah. Stonemaier, Viticulture,
Probably not.
Euphoria.
No.
You don't really like Between Two Cities, though, do you? What about Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig? Are you excited?
Not really.
But you love Castles of Mad King Ludwig,
Yeah, but
and
then
you
it's not
really don't. You really don't like
it's like in the
Between
middle.
Two Cities.
It's in the middle.
So this could bring them right together. I don't. Did we ever play Between Two Cities 2-player?
Yeah.
Have we? Well, this has got. I'm not sure if it's the same 2-player variant, but Jamie said that it's got a RADO approved 2-player variant. I'm looking forward to it anyway. I love both of those games. Have you tried Railroad Revolution recently? No, but I know that it's got an expansion coming up. I think at the very end of the year. It's going to be on Kickstarter at some point in the future. It was announced a while ago. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Hopefully, they would like me to do a playthrough for it, because Railroad Revolution was fantastic, wasn't it? Do you remember it? Was it last Essen or the Essen before? It's where we had that big map and you got all the bonuses, and there was like a Western Union at the bottom where you were building telegraph poles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I really enjoyed
I
that.
remember that.
Any proper game from What's Your Game is fantastic. Have you tried Russian Railroads? Yeah, I really love that. I think we've played every iteration of it.
Play that anytime.
Do you remember the expansions? Do you remember German Railroads, where you could customize your player board and put new pieces on top of it? And then American Railroads had that shares, where you got a new share and you could get special bonuses and things.
Don't remember that one.
Don't remember American. I think we only played. Well, I think we probably played the base game the most, and then probably German and American Railroads once. Oh, German Railroads is my favourite. I like being able to customise your boards, but it's a fantastic game, Russian Railroads. Hopefully, it gets requested or voted for. I'm going to mention that, actually. I need to do a video solely about this, but if you have ever wondered, oh, how can I suggest a game? How can I request something? This is the link to the request list. Here we go. Boom. You can go on there on Board Game Geek. You need a Board Game Geek account to do it, but it's a great big geek list. On just underneath the header, it says Add Item. You can click on that and add a game to it, or you can go through the list of all the games that are there already and just click the little green thumb for any ones that you want to see. The more thumbs they get, the higher they go up on the list, and the highest 10 or 15 or so games go into the monthly votes for the Kickstarter backers. So if you're a backer, then this is how you get to influence what's in the ballots. But even if you're not a backer, then you can still have some say on what ends up in there, because just thumbs up the games, and the more thumbs they get, they'll probably be in votes and things. So where are we? Tom, gotta go. Thanks for stopping by, Tom. Have a good day. Harry. Oh, thanks. We will always keep moving forward. Have you played Renegade? Yes, we mentioned that just. I thought it was really, really cool. Rach, it's definitely, I would admit that it's got a huge barrier to learning for us anyway. And it's definitely a brain burner. The video hasn't gone up yet, so I'm spoiling the video a little bit, but I kind of likened it to Mage Knight. Not in gameplay or anything like that at all, but in the sense that you've got these kind of variables in front of you, and you can do a million things with them and go about solving your problems in a million different ways. And it is a very brain-burning puzzle of staring at this and, what am I going to do? But it took a lot of playthroughs and learning rules and stuff to get a grip on it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Got Forge War last week. Nobody to play it with though. It's got a great solo mode.
It's a shame.
It's a shame, but it's got a great solo mode. It's got a very brutal solo mode. Just before Gloomhaven came out, I kind of tying in with Gloomhaven excitement, I started filming a Forge War playthrough, and I think about an hour in. Well, the solo game, it's a game where you're not adventurers. You're kind of a guild master, a blacksmith that's making all of the weapons for these adventurers and sending them out on quests that you take. So you're kind of the puppet master sending these people around everywhere. And you've got to control this
this group needs a certain quest level to be able to carry on in this quest, so you've got to give them more weapons or send more people on the quest to make sure they can keep up with it and keep getting rewards and things. And if you fail, you get a little punishment in the normal game. But in the solo game, the condition of it is every round you need to take a new quest, and you can never fail any quests. I think I got about an hour into the playthrough and then failed the quest. And I thought, well, I want the playthrough to go further than that. I should have just cheated and carried on, but I just got annoyed and stopped filming, I think.
Yeah, I haven't filmed it since.
It's been no time. But it's not the very top of the votes, but it comes high enough in the votes to keep staying in there. I'm worried of it winning the votes, though, because it's such a huge, complicated game. Harry, do you watch any other board game channel? Ricky Royal, Gaming Rules, Rado, Dice Tower, Antlab Games? I've watched all of those. I say more regular. Rado. Love Rado. Number one. The best at it. Gaming Rules, though. He's now, while once he was Rules Central and just made how to play videos, now he's in the quick and dirty review game. Yeah. He's going through some hard times at the moment, though. Always love to pull, though, eh, Rach? Always. But yeah, always recommend Gaming Rules to anyone. And what were the others? Ricky Royal? Yeah, I don't think I would ever have learned Mage Knight without Ricky Royal's tutorial series. And yeah, every time that, when we did have Mage Knight and we decided to play it every 18 months or whatever it was, I needed to watch that whole tutorial series every single time. But Ricky's fantastic. Dice Tower, don't usually agree with their opinions a lot of the times, but for sheer quantity, and if you want to see a game, chances are they've covered the game, and that's what they go for, and that's great. And Anlab, I don't think I've watched too many recently. He now does live playthroughs that are like 2-player things. They aren't edited, but see full games. I remember watching more solo things a few years ago. I think Leaving Earth was. I think I learned Leaving Earth from watching Antlab games, and then realised
watch it played as well.
Yeah, watch it played. Rodney's amazing. What other board games? Well, English ones. There's Behind the Box do really good reviews, and they'll do little top 10s about all sorts of different board gaming things. John Gets Games, of course. Fantastic playthroughs, and not reviews anymore, but you can go and watch the old reviews. No Pun Included do really good reviews and funny reviews. Sneakily skip to my subscriptions things. That's probably a lot of them, isn't it? A lot of the board game ones. One Stop Co-op Shop do great playthroughs, and even more, they're expanding into different things now. Well, it's mixed in with all of my non-board gaming subscriptions. Creaking Shelves, usually written reviews, but he's got a cool Which is Greater series where he kind of reviews 2 games at once and compares which he thinks is better. MeWe, who doesn't really do playthroughs anymore, but it's a fantastic one in the beginning. Loads. I'm gonna miss out someone that I really wanted to mention by just going through a list. Antlab's taking a bit of a break. That's a shame. But I think MeWe's taking a bit of a break as well. Hi, Nate's here. Hi, Nate. They will be back. I'm sure they will. Do you watch Heavy Cardboard? From time to time.
I've listened to a podcast.
Yeah, we listen to podcasts, and met Edward at the UK Games Expo. Did a podcast with him, kind of. I didn't say very much, but yeah, like Heavy Cardboard as well. Yeah, I'm not going to keep saying names out because I'm going to be sad when I've forgotten someone. And I've got subscriptions spread across 2 channels. It's silly and weird. So the Place Deck expansion announced for Newsfjord, assuming you'll get it. Definitely. I'm up for it. You really liked Newsfjord as well, didn't you? You excited for a new deck range? I don't think. Kind of not as excited because there's probably at least one deck we haven't played anything of in just the base game. Came with 3 different decks, I think. I'm sure we haven't played enough to see many cards in the game at all. Well, I'm always excited for more. Like, there's a new Agricola expansion. I can't remember what it's called. It begins with a B, because the first one was the Artifacts expansion. That came with the name. It couldn't be the boring expansion. Agricola's amazing. What fish do you hope they'll feature next? Goldfish expansion. Goldfish expansion.
Bream.
Bream.
Maybe it's already got
the Bream expansion.
Gotta think about what fish they've had on the.
Is that the Is that because Bob Mortimer caught a bream? Yeah, everyone watch Mortimer and Whitehouse gone fishing for
maybe a tasty
for funny
cod.
people catching fish. A cod.
Tuna.
There may have been that though. I can't remember what the fish were called, but I remember it was like, oh, use the salmon deck for your first game, and then it didn't say which one was the salmon deck. But it's an amazing game though. I'm just happy for more of that. Same with Feast for Odin. I don't really mind what the expansion's coming with. I'm there straight away. It was so good, wasn't it, Rach? Wasn't Feast for Odin so good?
Amazing.
So just use Pressure Live to make a change your mind on games. Have you played Coimbra? Love the board. It looks really, really cool. It hasn't come out in England yet, at least. Maybe it's come out in Europe and stuff. It's one on my Essen list, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. It's got... Who designed it? I think that's why... I think people mentioning it to me made it come up on my radar, but the designers designed something I really liked as well. Booking Geek's being really slow. Who designed it, Rach? Flaminia Brasini. That's Lorenzo Il Magnifico? Yes, it is. From two of the designers of Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Really excited. You put this might excite you about it, Rach. I'll try and find a picture of it.
Does it have a rondelle in it?
It hasn't got a rondelle in it, but you draft dice in the game, and you put your dice in these little castles, these little plastic castles.
Like the ones out of thingy?
Porto Negro. You put your dice in the little castles to show that they're yours. Does that excite you, Rach? It's got a nice plastic insert.
Do we have to roll the dice?
I imagine you roll them like at the beginning of the round. Looks nice though, doesn't it? It'll be out at Essen.
Looks alright.
That's good recommendation from Rach. But it looks cool. I'm hoping to grab it at Essen. See, Nath thinks Agricola is amazing.
Well, Nath hasn't played it for like 4 years.
It's the same game though. It's still just as amazing. Harry, any go-to games to get your friends who are non-gamers to play board games? Agricola, apparently. Agricola, I wouldn't say is a good start, but personally, I bought Agricola's probably the first Euro game we played, probably. We played a lot of games we'd seen on tabletop, maybe games we'd seen around. And then...
Out of everything that we played at the beginning.
Yeah, it was a shock.
If you don't count Arkham Horror.
Yeah, Arkham Horror is just complicated in a different way then. But it was definitely, like, I think you wanted to know which game I wanted for my birthday, and I went on to Board Game Geek, having not used it very much, and went to the top 100 and saw that number 1 was Twilight Struggle, and I clicked on that and read a little bit about it and thought, this sounds completely alien to me, this weird 2-player Cold War fighting against each other game. Don't care about that. Number 2, Agricola. Clicked on that.
About farming.
Farming. That sounds boring, but people seem to love it. And then when it came, farming is amazing, isn't it, Rach? Misery farming.
Yeah. Misery farming.
Well, I think of that in a good way. It's really good misery farming. But yeah, strangely, Agricola, while definitely not a gateway game, I don't think you ever enjoyed it. But I loved it, and then taking it to our friends who played some board games around then, but not very many, because we hadn't played that many. But yeah, straight away, I think Rach is the only person I've played it with that hasn't liked Agricola.
Oh, let's play it with the cards. You'll love it so much more.
Yeah, we played the family version and then put the cards in. It's amazing. But what games would be good to bring non-gamer people into a pandemic? It's always going to be.
Start off with a little co-op.
Well, it's always like, I don't know, we've got established gateway games, I guess, haven't we? We've got Ticket to Ride, Europe, and the different maps.
To play them now.
Yeah, but if you were brand new to, you would be bored while introducing them to people.
If I took it to somebody's house that didn't play games, I probably wouldn't take them.
Because you wouldn't be excited to play it yourself.
Maybe Peloponnese would be good.
Maybe, but without all of the expansions on it. Yeah, we haven't got a lot of them left. What about Rampage?
It's pretty cool.
Rampage would be a good one to start. It's just knocking things over with wooden dinosaurs. Camel Cup, yeah. Yeah, Camelot's a really good one to start with, isn't it? I don't think you really like that either.
Yeah, it was alright.
You shoot dice out of a pyramid. Who doesn't like it? Who's next? Dan, what about Everdell? Well, we got Everdell last week, actually.
The tree is awesome.
Yeah, we've only played it once, and Rach was getting the rules wrong for most of the game, so we need to play it properly. Or H was missing a rule. It's a game where you get cards in your hand and you'll put them out as buildings, or you'll put out workers to put in buildings, and it's all kind of woodland creature, kind of Sylvanian families themed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool game like that. But it's got a display in the middle with a load of cards as well, and you can build from the middle. And Rach didn't realise that, so she was limited.
Where did you get that
She
from?
was limited to just the cards in her hand for 3/4 of the game, maybe. So yeah, it wasn't very fair.
Wondering
But
why I never got any farms.
But it's Everdell, beautiful. We've got the collector's edition, so I think we've got a couple of upgraded components. But components are amazing. Squashy berries. What are the lovely little pebbles?
Yeah,
little crystals for the sap.
Cylinder-shaped logs.
Yeah, that were all everywhere. That's a little bit of a downside, but still look really nice. And it's got a great big wooden tree that you build. It's kind of just storage for some of the cards, but it looks beautiful when it's on there. And the art is all amazing. Where is it? Stall Rach, vamp for a second.
I don't know what to say. Come back.
Tell them a story.
I don't know any stories. Probably can't even hear me anymore.
I do have the mic. That's a good point. But this is the special slipcase thing for this version of it. But look at the art; it's beautiful.
Should I hit me in the face?
Look at all of the lovely little woodland creatures and things. You can see more on Board Game Geek probably, but yeah, that was not the only thing that made me interested in Everdell, but it's certainly
Video coming soon.
yeah when we've played it a little bit. Just received my Too Many Bones Undertow pledge. Working on sorting the monster with my base set. Have everything for the game, and it's now huge. Love the game. Your thoughts on it? Well, we've only played base Too Many Bones. It's hard.
You've played it more than me.
Yeah, I've played it more. I've found myself, going from being frustrated at the difficulty jumps in the game. It's very hard. I think the only one I've won is the playthrough that I did. Every other game we've lost. But it's a really cool... It's just a really cool adventure RPG game where, we found that when we played the shortest boss, Nom, and you have to fight him one by one, and it wasn't a very good kind of introduction, I don't think, for it. Playing the longer bosses where you've got more... You do these missions and you get progress points and training points where you can get more dice for your characters, and you've got these neoprene mats that you'll slot the dice into, and you'll level up through skill trees and things and just get more and more custom dice to roll. If you play a longer adventure, you get more of that stuff. And while everything else gets harder as well, it's just nice seeing all of these options and seeing how everything interacts. It's definitely a game where you have to keep playing it and keep playing the same character to learn what you're doing in there. But yeah, I'd really like to see more of it. But sadly, it's not going to happen in the immediate future anyway. Why is farming so popular in board games? It's just amazing.
It's probably really easy to make a game.
Yeah,
a resource gathering game on farming.
I see when it comes up of why kind of medieval themes or your 15th century European themes tend to come up over and over again. It's because it's kind of just familiar. It's just accessible straight away. If the theme is farming, everybody kind of understands. Yeah. Everybody kind of understands farming, so you don't have to explain it to people. Whereas, I can't think of a good example now. But if the theme is...
But people like farming games in other formats, like mobile phone games and things like that.
All those Farmville fans have just made it take over board games. But when it's... I don't imagine people have got a huge objection to farming as well. Because it seems... I don't think they should, but it seems like... if people use fashion as a theme, it seems to put a lot of people off.
Really.
Yeah, it seems to put a lot of people off. It shouldn't, but it does. Whereas I imagine there aren't very many people that would think, farming, I'm not playing that. They would maybe think it would be boring.
Yeah, like Rococo, making dresses. Not playing that.
Yeah, I wonder if it affected Rococo. Maybe it did. I know that it affected Pret-a-Porter from Portal Games. Ignacy said that's the theme put people off that, which is a shame. But yeah, farming's really cool, isn't it, anyway? Clans of Caledonia, another good one. It's a really good one. We haven't played that for ages, have we? I'd really like to play that. It's like Terra Mystica, but we really, really enjoyed it. Although we didn't like Gaia Project. I really like Gaia Project. You decided early on in Gaia Project that it wasn't for you.
Just talk about every game I don't like. It'd be really long.
Well, we try it. It's not for you. Move on. Marco, hey Tom, love your videos. Thanks, Marco. Anytime we see a top 100 of all time, there's meant to be a top 10 coming. I don't know when. Hopefully.
Which is in the next question.
Yeah, the idea would be that it happens before Essen, because as soon as Essen hits again, there's going to be another flood of games that are going to be piled up in here for another year. There's still stuff from last Essen in here that I feel very guilty about, but it's just no time to do it all. So yeah, I would like to get that done before Essen, but I have a feeling
I'll try.
that it won't happen.
Back in for ages
Yeah,
to do
we'll
this.
try. We'll get around to things eventually.
I really need to do this.
So always editing needs to be done, and building hospitals. But yeah, there's meant to be a top 10 coming. I don't think I could probably organise a top 100. Like, ideally, I would like to have all of these things organised. Like, if you've ever seen how Rado organises his games, he's got, a great big list on Board Game Geek. It's all of the ratings have got 3 decimal places, so he can, completely organise every game to be in order that this game is as good as this game, but I like this one better, so it's 1 decimal point higher. That kind of system. Very, very organised.
Too in-depth.
I haven't got the discipline to keep doing that, and struggle with just changing favourites constantly. But yeah, that was one of my things on Kickstarter, that I want to finally do a top 10 games video, but it will be coming. I don't know when. Hopefully before Essen. And Harry wants to see the top 10 games video as well. And if you've seen some of my other videos, I've spoiled what some of them would be. I think when I was Geek of the Week on Board Game Geek, probably a while ago now, but someone asked me on that, and I said what I tried to work out my top games, I think about a year ago, maybe more than that. I remember when I kept doing that website that was comparing 2 games to each other, and I was doing it for ages and ages and ages. I've got the top games from that list still, but I would hope that it would have changed a little bit. Although, would your top 10 change very much? I would imagine that would stay for quite a while.
It'd probably be rare that a game would show up and suddenly come top of that.
What do you think the last game was that made you think this is entering my top games?
I don't know, I can't remember what I played.
Was it Trajan? About 3 years ago.
Maybe, perhaps Gloomhaven.
Yeah, it probably was Gloomhaven.
The Thunderstone's pretty good, the new one.
But you think you think if we got Thunderstone Quest, that might feature in your top 10? I think the real question everybody should be asking is, why won't Rachel do a top 10? I would like to see Rachel's top 10. Oh, I'm sure that if we went through all of these games, there would be...
10.
Well, there's about 200 games here, I think. I'm sure that you like a lot of them.
We can just put those 3 in the top 10.
Suburbia, Subdivision, and Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Not Subdivisions.
I do like it, but I don't know if it'd be in top 10.
Let's spend the rest of our time now working on Rachel's top 10. There's going to be Suburbia, Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Trajan. Gloomhaven.
Oh, Roman Bingo.
Augustus.
No,
Rachel loves Augustus. I think it would be in your top 10. You love Augustus.
Play that anytime.
What else would be in it?
What's on
No
here?
Shipyard? Not Troyes?
No.
What about
Macau, maybe.
Castles of Burgundy, probably?
Macau. Yeah.
Amerigo?
We're getting close to 10 now.
Amerigo? Would Amerigo be in there? I think, yeah, there's definitely more games than I think you remember liking. Once we actually
list every game that I don't like.
Once we actually got them all out, well, they occur to me more easily. Have you played... Oh, wait a minute. These top 10 games. Trying to get hold of Rococo. Seems a bit girly, but board game looks cool. It is really, really cool.
I think it is girly.
Yeah, I've never really minded. I don't think there's ever been a theme that's put me off playing a game.
You're you're not making just dresses.
I really like
You're making gentleman wear.
Yeah, you're making fancy overcoats and things for people.
Move Bob.
Will Bob be on camera if he's put here?
Maybe.
No, he won't. I'll just hold Bob in the corner for a while. You're getting out the components to Rococo, Rach?
Yeah.
Rach is advocating for a game as well that she doesn't really like that much. You don't dislike Rococo, do you? Yeah, the jewellery and the expansion make it less girly. But yeah, it's all... It never really bothered me to put me off playing the game. You're trying to make the fanciest ball. Trying to contribute the most to make a really, really fancy... I don't know what century. Old French ball. It looks really, really cool once you've got all of the...
Where are the dresses?
Find the dresses, Rach. Here are the dresses. Oh, the dresses in the bag. Here are some Christmas dresses.
Look, you make gentlemen wear.
And it's just fantastic.
Can't even find a dress.
How the game plays is the thing, really, but the theme really adds to it. It's really cool. But yeah, I think it is out of print at the moment, which is a shame. Eggerspiel, get on it. More Rococo. I don't think the expansion came out very widely either, but it was a really good one. I think Rococo Jewellery Box is the first 2-player playthrough I ever did. Have you played the good old Power Grid? Yes, we played it a few times. I think we used to have it.
That was an early game.
Yeah, that was when we played at the group, wasn't it? We played the deluxe one. It's the first time we played it. I don't remember much about that play of it. I remember we played it with robots. That was quite cool, but it was still lacking something at 2-player, and it was one of the ones that eventually we thought we're not going to get around to this again. So yeah, we sold it in the end, but very cool game. I'm looking forward to. Is it Futuretopia? It's called. Freedom and Freeze has got a new big game coming out this SNH. Not big like 504 big, but like a Power Grid, a standard game. And it sounds really, really cool. And it begins with F's again. So we have played Power Grid, but not for a long, long time. What is your favourite unofficial solo variant created by a Board Game Geek user? I thought the Twa solo variant was unofficial, but apparently it's official now.
Was it
so not
unofficial
that.
First?
I don't know. There's a solo variant for Rococo that's really cool. Probably sprung to mind because we just got that box out. But there's a Grand Austria Hotel one that's really good as well. I don't play as much. I don't play very much solo at all anymore. But I think a lot of things had cool... I don't think I've seen many user-created ones for a while now. But when I did, it was, Rococo and Grand Austria Hotel were really good ones. Azul would be in it. Would be in what, Dan? Top 10s? 10. Not our top 10. We haven't played it, but it's one that I thought, especially at 2 players, it would be too cutthroat for us. But maybe one day. There's a new game coming out, isn't there, this Essen? That's, is it coming out at Essen? That's kind of in the Azul-niverse. It's kind of a new Azul Stained Glass of Sintra. People were saying that it's... I don't know if it's probably just in theme, but Sagrada kind of theme. So hopefully, maybe that would be a good thing, Rach. Do you like the look of that? No, not fussed. We've already got Sagrada. We don't need another game like it.
2 games do the same thing.
It does it differently, though. It's not dice. But...
Well, you get those cool gems. I mean, they look good.
Yeah. Well, Azul looks like a really beautiful game.
Get it for the gems.
And the idea of it is really nice. And Michael Kiesling is an amazing designer. But make nicer games, Michael. Well, Reworld was a nice game, wasn't it? And Riverboat. Just Azul. Nasty. Where's the tabs? Azul would be in it. Not for us. But, yeah, it won. Did it win Spiel des Jahres? The Jahres? Pronunciations? I think it won. It won the award, didn't it? It beat The Mind. Which surely you'd be pleased about that, right? A game you know nothing about. Thanks for waiting for me. Jeez, we tried, Jason. We tried. The YouTube messed up for ages. I want to see Rachel's top 10. We've got 2 votes for Rachel's top 10. I think it has to be filmed, doesn't it, guys?
It would literally be me saying the games, and that is it.
Yeah.
No explanation.
Yeah, she couldn't really explain why she Next time. I'll do playthroughs, especially Vital Lacerda games and the solo ones too. Root for Marty at times. I'm rooting for him too.
I would root for Marty.
Yeah. Although I feel like he usually wins. Rococo's never had so many mentions before. It probably hasn't.
It's not good.
We could. I wonder if they're doing anything with it. Because I believe that the expansion was designed by not the designers of the original game.
What about those other things on the festivity dresses?
They were. Was that in the advent calendar? The first advent calendar, I think. We got the very first board game advent calendar, and it had some cool things in it. I'm just scrolling through Board Game Geek now. It's worth sometimes. There's an old game that you really, really like. I like scrolling through the Board Game Geek page to just see if there's any new news about it, in case they're bringing out a new version of it or a new expansion and things. Apparently the base game is being reprinted. So yeah, hopefully you'll be able to get hold of it, because it's really cool. Trois Solo is now official, like the Rococo one. Maybe the Kanban one's really good as well. I'm hoping that, it's, I don't know if it's rumoured or confirmed or whatever, that the rights are going to revert back to Vital for Kanban in a year or so. And when they do, he's planning on doing a special edition. I have no insider information about that. It's just something I've seen on Twitter or Board Game Geek or something. So if that happens, presumably, based on all of his other deluxe Eagle Griffin editions, presumably he would come up with a solo variant as well. But I did a video. My video for Kanban is solo and uses the who is it? It's Dale Bonacore, I think. I remember that because Stephen Bonacore is the publisher at Stronghold. He's got the same last name. But yeah, the solo variant for Kanban is really cool. Kanban is very heavy. Yes. It's pretty heavy, isn't it? But Rach, to you, it's the easiest Lacerda game to understand, isn't it? Why is that, Rach?
I don't know, it just makes sense to me.
Yeah,
oh, it's making cars, that's so boyish.
I like all that. I think the Gallerist is really good at explaining what it is, but Rach completely disagrees with that. And Escape.
Kanban, you go along the conveyor belt, makes sense. Gosh, like.
You're going around in a circle in the Gallerist.
No, you don't.
And that's how everything in the game works. Yeah, maybe having it like a production line. Maybe hides.
Oh, but it makes more sense. You go and make the parts for the car, then you go and make the car, and then you move the cars along, and then you get to drive around the racetrack, and then you can buy some more cars.
That's Kanban, everyone. But yeah, it's a pretty heavy game, but it's fantastic. It's worth trying, isn't it? Is it, Rach?
I would always say.
Would that be in your top 10 though?
That's me top.
We didn't even mention that.
Vital game.
And is Vital's top game top enough to get into your top 10?
I would say so.
Heard it here first, everybody. We've got about 4 games confirmed for the top 10. I think we should make it, Rach. Sleeping Hard had a hernia surgery the other day. Oh, get well soon. We're building
virtual hugs.
We're building virtual hospitals, aren't we? Yeah. We're playing a lot of 2 Point Hospital. If anyone loves Theme Hospital or just likes video games, 2 Point Hospital is amazing.
Pretty good.
Now, maybe what we're getting back to, we have reached the end of the questions, everybody, and we've been going for about an hour. It's probably time to make some tea. So I think, unless anyone has
not the drink tea.
Both
those,
the food tea, and the drink tea. I've still got some cold tea here. But yeah, I think, thank you for watching, everybody. I don't see anything new coming up, so I think we're going to end it there. We're going to try and be more regular. Rach delayed this Q&A by ages.
Remember you need to do this. You haven't done one for this.
Maybe this is the August one. This is August the 32nd. And we'll do one in September at some point. It depends. We'll definitely do one before Essen. Now we've got Essen list confirmed. Rach isn't going to do an Essen list.
I'm not going to Essen. You got to fly solo.
Yeah, I've got to go on my own. But you're not even going to. Rach doesn't care what's coming out. She'll get presented. She'll get presented the games once they're out, and
this is what we're playing today.
Decide what she likes or not. But I've got a feeling there's going to be some amazing things already. New Rosenberg games, new Stefan Feld games, new version of CO2, Rach. cooperative CO2. Unmoved by CO2.
Thrilled.
Anyway, I was supposed to be saying goodbye. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll do another one sooner. We won't leave it 2 months again.
We'll 100%
3 months.
enjoy our tea,
Yes.
which is burgers.
Definitely. Burgers for tea. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you for some playthroughs and things. Bye.
Bye.
So now this is the awkward bit because I haven't stopped it. I should have been tabbing through to the stop bit. Just behind the curtain.